When those pull-ups came hard with pain and maybe 1 or 2 was all I could do, I would go harmonize, and I'd come back, and you know what I discovered? I could do 10 or 12 of them quite easy with no pain. That tells me this thing works.
I was having dental and sinus issues where my teeth were aching, my nose, I was always congested and so forth. After I wore the pendant, I'd say about a day later, the symptoms or the things that I was feeling for quite a few months had dissipated and just went away.
I'm really glad I gave the Harmony pendant a try 9 years ago. I would know what I would do without it because it really changed my life.
My name's Tom from Wellington, Florida, and I just experienced the Harmony pendant for the first time. And I really feel more relaxed, more comfortable, and more balanced. And I think I'm going to try to wear this all the time now because I feel like it's really made a difference for me.
Hi, I'm James Gorin. I'm a biomedical engineer, an electrical engineer, and an organic chemist from the past. Ended up at a fantastic company in Miami called Cordis Corporation, a pacemaker company. So in the beginning, I became a pacemaker engineer, designing the latest products. I was then placed on a very important project called the Implantable External Neural Stimulator. This was designed to block pain. And it was similar to a pacemaker, except we would put the pacemaker lead up into the brainstem, right up the spinal column, and we would introduce EMF, electromagnetic frequencies that were disrupting static or dirty electricity. When we had static on the outside sheath of nerve cells, we completely block the communication in and out of those cells. Electromagnetic frequencies is really what the brain runs the body on, but when it's static and it's disrupting and puts like a shield or a blockade of static all around the outside cell membranes, you're blocking communication in and out of those cells. And they start to dysfunction. The symptoms today for people having high doses of EMF, people who work in front of computers all day long or keep the cell phones right next to us, they're finding they have headaches, nausea, can't concentrate, blurry eyesight. I mean, it just, the body responds differently in every person to some degree, and all kinds of adverse effects crop up when you're in an area of high EMF. Our bodies are getting hit harder and harder with disrupting fields, and 5G will be quite disrupting. Once we started with carrying these, our communication and all of our devices with us and being around them and Wi-Fi in every store, even in your car, even when you're driving, you put an EMF meter on the front dashboard or anywhere around your steering wheel, man, you're being lit up the entire time you're driving. So we have to find a way to become resilient to this. That's the whole key to success for health going forward in our future for the whole world. If our cells remain high efficiency, high function, high quality performance day in and day out by keeping their energy up and helping to block the disrupting fields from lowering that energy, then I'm all for it. The Harmony pendant seems to protect people from high EMF and also helping to keep the energy up in the cells in their body. When you're running smooth, and that's what this pendant is designed to do. That's what they show its function is. It smooths the energy around your body. And from my meters, it shows that as well. I'm seeing that the amount of EMF is lowered when you're wearing it. Any product that shows on my meters that it's making things better for a human, I'm all there. And all these things will help us going forward to live with 5G and stay healthy and stay happy and feel good every day when you wake up. That's what these things are all designed for. We all want to live quality lives till the end of days, even in old age, in geriatric levels. We can be pain-free. We can have all of our body functioning at very optimal levels, and we can be resilient to all of the technology and disrupting energy fields. And that's what this is all about.
Hi, my name is Bill. I'd like to take a few minutes to talk to you about my experience with the Harmony pendant. It's been very positive, and I'd like to take you back in time a little bit with my experience as a slalom water skier. And I've been doing this for over 40 years in competition, and I train regularly year-round. Let me take you back in time a little bit. Probably 2 or 3 decades ago, a long way back, I got a left arm injury in my shoulder with a racquetball. I hit the wall hard and bent my arm back, and until that time I could do 50 push-ups, and then after that I could not do any without a lot of pain. It just became impossible to do them. And I lived with that pain for a long time, and as a water skier that affected my performance because you have to be able to raise your arm up and reach, and it became difficult after 4 or 5 passes to raise that arm up, so it took away performance, took away my scores, they went down, I became inconsistent. One of the biggest benefits that I gained was that shoulder has gotten a lot stronger now. I can do push-ups now, I don't do them because I don't want to go back and re-injure that arm, but what it does do is it allows me to ski with full arm power that I just didn't have before, and that's helped my scores go up. Another thing I noticed that was quite significant was I used to be able to train 4 days a week. Recovery was difficult. I stayed in a sympathetic fight or flight mode, and with the Harmony pendant, it allows your body to go into parasympathetic. And so with that extra recovery, I picked up 25% more training days. I went from 4 to 5 days a week, and I quite much feel that is the reason. It's because of that harmonizing effect. So the recovery was benefit number 2 for me. The next thing that I noticed is that in preparation for training, whether it's competition or just practice, that I always wanted to find a way, could I test a way where I could discover that this pendant is really making a difference? And I want to prove it to myself. Because a lot of times you think, well, maybe it was the position of the stars or the moon or something like that that made you have a good day or a bad day. My scores got very consistent because I would do a test and I found out what works. And here's what I did. Where I do my practice, we have a ski handle that hangs up above your head. So you have to jump up, grab it, and your feet are off the floor, and I try to do pull-ups. Now, if it was a day when I was really worn out and I hadn't recovered, there's no amount of pendant that's going to affect that. You just got to go home and take a couple of days off and rest. But you know what? When you come back and you are rested and you are recovered and you try to do those pull-ups, you can tell some days that something is missing. It's just not right. And if you don't fix that, you're probably not going to ski well that day, and you'll know that you're going to have that problem. So what I did was, on a day like that, when those pull-ups came hard with pain and maybe 1 or 2 was all I could do, I would go harmonize, and I'd come back, and you know what I discovered? I could do 10 or 12 of them quite easy with no pain. That tells me this thing works. My scores in the last year or 2 have been the most consistent high scores at all competition that I go to. If you look at my scores, they're almost always the same. Where before, you'd have good days and bad days. So consistency in the use of the pendant was another benefit that I got. No question about it.
I've been training for the last 35 years. I'm trying to improve my skiing, and at the beginning I worked out like 4 times a week, and I skied like 3 or 4 sets a week, and then injuries came in, and it slows you down. And so over the years I was always looking for something that would help me with my strength level and also to get less injuries. And since I started the pendant in 2009, There's two major things. First of all, as I said before, I had to work out at least 4 times a week to keep my strength up. Now I'm doing like 2 workout sessions a week. That's the biggest one. And then the other thing is I had no major injuries for the last 10 years since I've been wearing the pendant, which really helps keep me going and perform at a high level. I had some major injuries. I broke my ankle 3 times. I dislocated my shoulder. I broke my finger, and that's why I wanted to find something that can help me to prevent those injuries and recover faster. And the pendant really did its job on that. After I started harmonizing, the next day I already felt a big difference, and it hasn't changed since then. I have not had any injuries, and I perform at a really high level with less workout. I'm really glad I gave the Harmony pendant a try 9 years ago. I would know what I would do without it, because it really changed my life.
Sleep is so important for me. My job is so intensive. If I couldn't sleep well, the next day is terrible. It's miserable. I remember in the first beginning, I thought my back pain and make me waking up is also because of the mattress. So I keep changing my mattress. Almost like every 2 years, I change a mattress to buy more and more expensive mattress. But that is not the problem. I just wake up from my back pain, so I couldn't really sleep well. And it's frustrating. Some nights I woke up, I just couldn't sleep anymore. So when I had this pendant, I don't have this anymore. It never come back to me. I always can sleep well. I remember that magic moment, that when my back was together with the pendant, harmonized together, I feel some kind of feeling in my back, and then a little bit of heat on my skin. I can feel it, and then it just like loosened. My blood circulation probably get better, and then I don't feel pain anymore when I walk around. I thought it's a placebo, and I didn't take it seriously, but I think it just to give it a try to keep wearing it for 1 or 2 weeks. And during that 1 or 2 weeks, my pain didn't come back. I just still cannot believe it even today, but I'm so happy that just the pain doesn't come back. I'm wearing this Harmony pendant. It always reminds me that I'm in good hands, that the pendant is taking care of me. And that could be the peace of mind, but at the same time, I can feel it improve my status of performance in playing tennis and in focus on my business. So I think it's both a mental effect on me, this pendant, but also physically, I think it harmonizes my body, just making my body can coordinate much better than before.
My name is Monica Horno. I've been in the health industry for about 23 years. And I'm a body worker. I do massage therapy. I'm a yoga instructor. And I was very impressed when I got the pendant because I had a pain on my left shoulder, and it went away right after I was harmonized. And I was also very impressed because I did a workshop with 10 people. It's restorative type workshop, and it's a lot of physical work. So usually I get very tired. Last time I felt like a truck ran me over, and this last time with the pendant, I had a lot of energy. I went to have dinner with some friends. I went to a lecture. Like I still had a lot of energy, and I'm sleeping better. I just feel like I have a lot of more energy, and I don't have any pain like I used to have in my shoulders and neck.